Welcome back. We all know it's polite to knock on a door before entering. Next is a film about someone who has been knocking on the door of the House of Commons for the past 770 years.
You might recognize him from leading the Speaker's Parade, or knocking on the House of Commons' door 3 times with the base of a black rod, or, like most Canadians, you might not recognize him at all. Canada's Usher of the Black Rod, currently Greg Peters, is an extensive yet little-known role in Canadian politics. The most senior protocol officer in the Government of Canada organizes every Senate ceremony, from the Royal Assent ceremony to the speech from the throne, oversees the page program, audio, and translation, and is responsible for security in the Senate, along with the more publicized roles of knocking on the House of Commons' door and leading the Speaker's Parade. This is all rooted in being the monarch's personal attendant and messenger, a role that goes back to the 14th century. The very first Gentleman Usher of the Black Rod was appointed by King Edward III in 1348. The Black Rod, as it's generally shortened to, was the King's messenger to the House of Lords, a responsibility that is preserved when the Canadian Black Rod summons the MPs to the Senate for ceremonies of royal assent. In 1791, the Legislative Council of Lower Canada appointed its first usher, and René Kimber became Canada's first official Gentleman Usher of the Black Rod in 1867. As Canada grew into its own nation, the role grew alongside it to best fit the needs of our people. When Jean Chrétien appointed Mary C. McLaren in 1997, the word gentleman was dropped from the title. The Black Rod is the third oldest continually held state office in Canada, right after the monarch and the Governor-General. How does such a historically rich role relate to contemporary Canada? Firstly, and most practically, the Usher of the Black Rod serves as a bridge between the Senate and the House of Commons. Although the last provincial Senate was abolished in 1968, on Parliament Hill a connection between the upper and lower houses is crucial. The Usher of the Black Rod provides this when he or she goes to the House of Commons and raps on the door 3 times with the base of a black rod, summoning the members of Parliament to the Senate for ceremonies of royal assent. Behind this is a representation of Canada's relationship with the monarchy. When the Black Rod, as a representative of the monarchy, goes to the House of Commons to summon the members of Parliament, our representatives, the MPs, can deny him or her entry into the House of Commons. This is incredibly symbolic of our mutually beneficial, amicable relationship with the Crown, even as we reserve our right to independence and sovereignty in our House of Debate. Recently, the Usher of the Black Rod has become increasingly engaged in educational outreach. As a nonpartisan government official who sits in on every Senate session, he or she has an invaluable perspective on democracy and Parliament in Canada. This can be imparted to youth groups, business professionals, and academic leaders. And finally, as an advisor, the Usher of the Black Rod can provide advice without partisan bias to any parliamentarian, especially at the executive level that they are so comfortable with. Terence Christopher, former Usher of the Black Rod, said, "I advise not only senators, but many members of the House as well as the Governor-General. So as an advisor, a teacher, a representative, and a messenger, the Usher of the Black Rod continues to have an important influence on Canadian politics."
Eva became interested in the role of the Usher of the Black Rod after meeting former Usher Terence Christopher at the Forum for Young Canadians. Throughout this project, she learned how this role has influenced Canada's Parliament over history.
Up next, Selena Adino explores the legacy of one of Canada's most famous athletes.
Hi, my name is Selena Odino and I attend St. Mary's Academy in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Over the years, cancer has taken the lives of millions of people across the world. It was not until Terry Fox took action that cancer research in Canada and around the world developed. As technology is advancing and as countries are taking action, cancer research more than ever needs financial support. Terry Fox would make a difference in the world by fulfilling his dream to raise money for cancer research. Terry Fox was born in Winnipeg, Manitoba on July 28, 1958. At age 18, he was diagnosed with osteogenic sarcoma and had to amputate his leg. It was during chemotherapy that Terry Fox was affected by the number of people who were suffering from cancer. Terry Fox wanted to make a difference in the world and give courage to those who suffered from cancer. On April 12, 1980, Terry started his Marathon of Hope in St. John's, Newfoundland. It was on September 1st, 1980 that Terry started coughing and having chest pain. He found out that the cancer had returned and spread to his lungs. Terry had run a total of 3,339 miles in 143 days and stopped his marathon in Thunder Bay, Ontario. It was a tragic day when Terry passed away on June 28, 1981. Terry Fox is an inspiration to many people, not only in Canada, but also for people around the world. Runs spread to places all over the world. The Terry Fox Run is the largest single-day fundraising event for cancer research in the world, with 60 participating countries. In Winnipeg, Manitoba, there's a Terry Fox Memorial and a Assiniboine Park. The Terry Fox Foundation was established in 1988 in Winnipeg, Manitoba on Chevrier Boulevard. It is an independent foundation that distributes funds for cancer research in Terry's name. Since 1980, the Terry Fox Foundation has raised more than $600 million, which is more than Terry's goal of $1 per Canadian. The Marathon of Hope did not end on the morning of Terry's death. People are still running and believing that everything is possible if you try. 2 decades after his death, people in Canada and around the world continue to be drawn by his story. His legacy may last forever. At 21, he was a
Thanks for watching Canada's history through the eyes of young citizens.
You can find out more information about their projects online at youngcitizens.ca.